Welcome back. It's day 17 of 30 of our 30-day video diary of my journey back to more active, healthier, and more intentional life. So let me start off with our stats. And our Oura ring says, so my readiness was up from 84 to 85. My sleep score went up from 80 to 87, and my activity up also from 66 to 72. So that's really good news. Everything seems to be better. I did sleep really well last night, and I have been trying to get my activity in each day the last few days, although I didn't quite meet my goal yesterday, but I'm certainly going to try today. For fasting, I fasted 24 hours yesterday. I wasn't really hungry even when I broke my fast, but I did check my blood sugar and it was a little lower. I did end up eating, which was fine. I felt totally fine. Had some ground pork with eggs for lunch, and then I also snacked on a little bit of macadamia nuts and cheese and a little tiny bowl of, a tiny bowl as in actually there's still one tiny bowl like this, of blueberries. So I had that yesterday. For my activity, I basically just walked around my neighborhood, and I also used my treadmill desk. My ketones were 1.6 and my GKI score was at a high level of ketosis. So good news, because again, my blood sugar was pretty low in level. So this is my blood glucose values from yesterday. You'll notice that there's a big gap, and it's because I had to put on a new CGM and it's still calibrating. So I'm looking at it, but I'm not really looking at it. Not yet, until later on today when I calibrate it. In the morning, I mean, we could use it, but you can see that my blood sugar went up a little bit after lunch, likely because of the blueberries, and it steadily started moving downwards again. And I really didn't eat anything after 2 o'clock yesterday, just because I wasn't hungry, and then evening came and I was still full for my lunch. So the wonderful thing about eating low carb is that you don't get sort of the munchies, right? So really a good day yesterday in terms of eating. So what I wanted to talk about today was about building habits. I talked about my goals for doing this challenge was to get back to recording and publishing videos. I wanted to document my journey back to my routine of being more active, eating healthy, and also being more intentional about the things that I do and what I do in my life. You know, I managed to do all those things before because I had built habits around them. But you know, life happens, right? And they always seem to come in threes. So for me, that was, I had a work project deadline that seemed to just keep dragging on, kept getting extended. Then I had surgery and recovery from that. So I had a hysterectomy back in May. I totally underestimated the amount of recovery time for that. And then I had vacation plans. So then I was away from vacation. And as you all know, trying to get back into a routine after vacation. But imagine trying to get back to all of these things after all these things have happened. Now, my habits were all anchored to daily routines that in a matter of 3 months, well, you know, kind of went all up in the air. And because so many things were happening, I couldn't adjust them fast enough. Now, the goal of this 30-day video diary was to help build those habits back. It wasn't to lose weight. It wasn't to just, you know, get those videos out. It's really to help me build those habits back that led me to those larger goals. The way I created and create my current habits are based on Tiny Habits by BJ Fogg. So it's based off of this book. I'm actually a Tiny Habits certified coach, and I design my habits based on the Fogg behavior model. You know, there's motivation, your ability, and there's a prompt. And so I want you to grab your copy. I will leave a link below because this is an awesome book if you are looking to build habits that will last. So here's some examples. After I use the bathroom in the morning and walk out the bathroom door, I will go left. Second one is after I plate my food, I will open my camera app. After I set my feet on the floor from waking up, I will say or think, it's going to be a great day. After I close my computer for the day, I will open my iPad. After my first sip of coffee, and after I put my coffee mug down, I will open my journal. So by no means were these habits foolproof. I would need to tweak and adjust them, you know, until I got them right, until I was doing them more often. So let me explain how these habits fit into the bigger picture. For the habit about going left instead of right when I leave the bathroom, I always go to the bathroom when I wake up. But if I go right, I end up heading downstairs towards the kitchen, getting a cup of coffee. So if I did that every morning, I'd be wearing my pajamas, right? But if I go left, it leads me towards my closet. And so where I can get changed into my workout clothes, thus making this a habit that takes me one step closer to actually getting a workout in. The next one is, after I plate my food, I'll open my camera app. This will lead me to taking a photo of my food. It's something that I've been doing regularly for a little while, but basically this slows me down and prevents me from just chowing down that food without even thinking about it. Instead, I worked on this habit maybe a few months ago where I took a photo of my food every day for 30 days. And I logged it on Instagram, and you can follow me there at fe.eatsandexercise. And then there's the Maui habit, which is BJ Fogg's habit that he introduces to everyone. It's one of the first ones he introduces. And I love this habit. It sounds so hokey, maybe a little bit to some people, but it really does work. So this one really helps set the intention for the day. It sets your attitude for the day even before you can start, feeling bad or, not so great for the day. It really sets the intention. So I love this habit and I try to do it every day. And make sure to give it a try because that's actually a really good one. The next one is, after I close my computer, I'll open my iPad. Because I use my iPad for all my personal projects, after I close I always do this at the end of the day when I'm about to, when I'm done with work stuff, I close my keyboard. So I'm basically, that in my mind is like setting it done for the day. And then I turn to my iPad and open that up. And the first thing that I do is I actually look at my Trello board, and that's where I keep a list of my projects. And I will go there and basically review my list of projects and organizing, prioritizing what I need to be doing. And then the last one is, after putting my coffee cup down, I will open my journal. So the goal for this one was I meant to use it for jotting down the 3 goals for the day. And I get to prioritize them and then set the intention for the day. So by no means are these habits foolproof. I would tweak and adjust them as needed and made them as tiny as they needed to be. And when I accomplished them, the really important part is I always celebrate. Always. And that means a little smile, maybe a little dance, maybe hands up in the air, whatever it takes to feel good about accomplishing something. That does take a little bit of practice, though, I do admit. But you can find that thing that helps you celebrate, and it leaves that positive feeling that makes you want to do that habit over and over again. And remember that if you're building a habit and it fails, it is not your fault. The habit just needs to be tweaked and redesigned so that it's easier and achievable. So don't blame yourself. This is not your fault that you couldn't do it. It's because your habit wasn't designed well. And there's so many ways to actually redesign a habit down to the minutest thing, as you can see from my habits, to make sure that you're successful in achieving them. The 30-day challenge was really for me to get back to doing those tiny habits so that I can accomplish these goals. Are you struggling with building consistent habits? Do you think you can make them tinier and more achievable? So leave a comment below and let me help you dissect them. This is one of my favorite things to do, is to help people work through their habits to see how they can make them tinier and more achievable. All right, well, I have other tiny habits to get to, so I will see you tomorrow. Bye.